Hello aspirants, welcome to Visham Academy. Concept of utility വരെയാണ് നമ്മൾ economics നോക്കിയത്. Now total utility. So we all know that utility is the one satisfying power of a product. അപ്പോൾ total utility is the total satisfaction derived from consuming the commodity. Okay, ഒരു പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഫുൾ സാറ്റിസ്ഫാക്ഷൻ കിട്ടും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ടോട്ടൽ യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി. Marginal utility, it is a satisfaction derived from the consumption of an additional unit of the commodity. For example, that is satisfaction from the additional product, right? For example, if we get one dress, that is total utility. Okay, because we like the dress and we bought it. Next, if we buy another dress, that is marginal utility, that is additional product. So satisfaction from the additional product is marginal utility. When utilities increases at a point of time to the additional utility, then the marginal utility becomes zero, and then negative becomes zero and then negative. For example, if we eat if we buy one ice cream and we eat it, that is total utility. If we buy one more ice cream and when we eat it, then it will be marginal utility. If it goes n number of times, then it will be in negative. The marginal utility becomes zero and it will negative, because we at some point of time we do not want to eat the ice cream when we eat n number of time, right? Then the marginal utility becomes negative. Initially the marginal utility will be greater than the total utility of consuming previous unit. At a point of time the marginal utility will become zero, and if we consume continuously at a given point of time, marginal utility will become negative. So that is law of diminishing marginal utility. Another example is a person buying fruits to their relative's house instead of rice, because rice is already they have, right? That's why we are buying fruits to them. And next is law of equimarginal utility. Resources are scarce. In order to get maximum marginal utility for every need, we allocate the resource in such a way. So we need to think that money is necessary for all the resources. We need money for all needs, especially for the scarce product. But we all know that wants are unlimited for humans and resources are limited. The satisfying occurs unlimited. Since the resources are scarce, we need to satisfy ourselves with the limited resources. So we all know that resources are scarce and wants are unlimited and resources are limited. So we need to satisfy our unlimited needs with limited resources. Next, the law of diminishing marginal utility is used in taxing policy. That is, tax is exemption for up to 2.5 lakhs because the person already satisfied the basic needs. The extra will be lavish. So the law of diminishing marginal utility is applying for taxing policy. Next is cost. First one, money cost. The actual money we spend on factors of production, that is money cost. There are two costs of production, money cost and real cost. Money cost is, we all know that what are factors of production. For that factors we spend actual money. Okay, that is money cost. Real cost is the efforts and pains involved in the production process. Thus real cost cannot be measured. For example, the real cost of women, the pain involved in their life will be greater than the real cost of men. Next is opportunity cost. As the resources are scarce, there are alternative uses of resources. The opportunity cost arises when people are forced to sacrifice the income while using the resources for alternative use. What they are telling means, when we use the resources for one matter by sacrificing the other one is opportunity cost. For example, a farmer using the water for drinking purpose instead of using farming. It's just example to make you people know easier. So a farmer's most useful thing is water, because for farming we need water. Since the water is scarce, the water resource is scarce, their basic life matter needs water for drinking purpose. Instead of using for farming, since the resources are scarce, they are using for drinking purpose. That is opportunity cost. Implicit cost means the cost of self-owned and self-employed resource. They do not take the form of cash outlays. For example, small industry. The simple example will be, a person put a shop of tailor or a tailor shop in his own house without spending money for rent or labors. If we take another room for rent, they have to give rent for the room, right? We need to pay cash for that rent, and also we need to keep laborers, and we need to give wages for the labor. So a person will think in different manner that if he put a shop of tailor in his own house, there is no need of spending money for rent or labors. That is implicit cost. Explicit cost means the cost that if implicit cost is small industry, explicit cost is large industry. Those costs which entered in account books, or those costs which take the form of cash outlays. Exactly ulta of implicit cost. Next, social cost. Due to production of a commodity, a cost beared by the society which does not affect the company. For example, if a cement company is near in a place, okay, how houses surrounding that industry affects the people's severe diseases, but it does not affecting that company. That is social cost. The company is producing or making a production of a commodity, a cost bear is on the society. That is, a cost is bearing by the society, not the company. It will not affect the company at any cost. That is social cost. Social, the name itself says that, society. Next is fixed cost. Those costs which does not vary in production, like rent is fixed. For administrative staffs in companies or institutions, their wages will be fixed. Laborers variable, laborers-നും വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും, അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് സ്റ്റാഫിന് ഫിക്സഡ് കോസ്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. ഫിക്സഡ് കോസ്റ്റ് യൂസിങ് ഫോർ ഒപ്റ്റിമം ലെവൽ, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ if we say fixed cost in a different example, like 10 crore machine produce 105 crore pens. ഇപ്പോൾ 10 കോടി മെഷീൻ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് 10 കോടി കണക്കുള്ള പെന്നാണെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഇതാണ് കണക്ക്, 10 crore മെഷീൻ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് 105 crore pens. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു കമ്പനിക്ക് 5 കോടിയുടെ ഒരു ഓർഡർ കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് അഫോർഡബിൾ ആയിരിക്കില്ല ഒരു പുതിയ മെഷീൻ ഈ 5 കോടി പെൻസ് മാത്രം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരു പുതിയ മെഷീൻ വാങ്ങിക്കാനുള്ള അഫോർഡബിൾ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ബിക്കോസ് 10 കോടി മെഷീനാണ് 105 കോടി പെൻസ് തയ്യാറാക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു 5 കോടിക്കുള്ള ഓർഡറിന് വേണ്ടി മാത്രം നമുക്ക് പുതിയ മെഷീൻ വാങ്ങിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സോ the cost is fixed, like 10 crore machine produce this much amount of pence. Next is variable cost. Now variable cost varies in the production cost. Next is total cost. Total cost is the total cost of production of the commodity. That is, total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. We know that what is fixed cost and variable cost. The sum up of those costs is total cost. And average cost is total cost by total unit produced. We all know that what is average matters, right? Next, marginal cost. Cost of production of a additional unit. The same as marginal utility. That is marginal cost. Next is revenue. Total revenue means revenue earned by selling all the finished good. After production, മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ് എല്ലാം ചെയ്ത ശേഷം അവസാനം ഒരു ഫിനിഷ്ഡ് ഗുഡ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഓക്കെ, ആ ഫിനിഷ്ഡ് ഗുഡ് വിൽക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന റവന്യൂ ആണ് ടോട്ടൽ റവന്യൂ. ആവറേജ് റവന്യൂ മീൻസ് നമ്മൾ ടോട്ടൽ റവന്യൂ ബൈ എത്ര യൂണിറ്റ് നമ്മൾ വിറ്റിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, നമ്പർ ഓഫ് യൂണിറ്റ്സ് സോൾഡ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് average revenue. Next, marginal revenue. Revenue earned by selling of additional unit of the product. എല്ലാവരും മാർജിനൽ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിച്ചാൽ മതി അഡീഷണൽ യൂണിറ്റ്. നമ്മൾ ടോട്ടലിൻ്റെ കൂടെയുള്ള ആഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു അഡീഷണൽ യൂണിറ്റ് ആണ് മാർജിനൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അഡീഷണൽ തിങ്, ഇപ്പോൾ യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി ആണെങ്കിൽ മാർജിനൽ യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി, അഡീഷണൽ യൂണിറ്റിൻ്റെ കോസ്റ്റ് ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മാർജിനൽ കോസ്റ്റ്, റവന്യൂ ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മാർജിനൽ റവന്യൂ. നെക്സ്റ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻ ആണ്. ഫ്രഷ് ടോപ്പിക് നമുക്ക് ഫ്രഷ് വീഡിയോയിൽ എടുക്കാം. Until then, I am signing off. Thank you for listening.